Hello, and welcome to the Don't You Know I'm Loco podcast. We're three cousins looking to break generational curses by sharing our mental health and healing journeys. Join me, Candy,
Lisa,
and
Rene.
as we talk about
The things we're not supposed to talk about.
Hi,
What's
guys. Welcome back to our channel. We're slowly making some adjustments.
Yeah.
Like if you notice, you probably won't notice, but I can tell the difference. The lighting is we're trying new stuff. So keep an eye out for stuff changing
Yes.
in the next coming weeks, months.
We like to be progressive. here.
Yes. And any suggestions you
changing.
guys have, text us.
Mhm.
You can always email us. Go hit our link tree. You can always DM us on Instagram too.
Mhm.
We will take all suggestions.
Yeah.
So how's everybody doing?
Hey.
Not bad. It's raining here today.
I
so-
know.
Yeah,
so
throw it off. I
weird.
know.
My shirt. real
We
quick.
yeah. Renee shirt.
Nice.
It says Chinga tu maga. There's no translation for that. No English translation.
We'll figure it out.
Umaga.
With I like that shirt. I had a shirt that said "Hay comida en la casa." There's food at home. It looked exactly like that.
Oh,
But
This is from the company Immigradas, I believe.
okay.
We'll tag them.
Yeah. I know.
Some good stuff.
What
on
does
there.
it say on the bottom? Basta de.
Basta de pendejadas.
Oh my god!
Oh my God,
I love shirts like
I didn't even
that.
notice that part until this morning.
Oh, really? So
Oh my
funny.
gosh, how funny! I have a sweater that says "Allergic to pendejadas."
Oh, I
love that one. I love to buy like culture,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
a culture
It's so
shirt.
funny.
There's so many brands that I love. Like literally, like half of my shirts are like culture shirts because I'm like, oh, support small business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure.
Speaking of, check out the previous episode with Erica and John.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Don't
So,
forget.
There's a lot
Yep.
of little.
lots of good
Gems.
information on that one. All right. So today we're going to be talking about fears.
Boo.
What are you afraid of? Are you afraid of the dark? Remember that?
Yeah.
So let's get into our challenges. Who wants
Not
to go
first.
first?
Not at this time.
I'll go.
Okay.
Okay. So, my challenge, I'm still going to go with the EMDR because I have to talk about it.
Yeah.
I have to talk about it, you guys.
Yeah.
It's so crazy, the shit
I
that's
love to
coming
hear
out.
about it.
So I broke up with Max on Sunday.
Oh my God.
That's how fucking crazy it is, right?
Today is the following Sunday, by the way.
Today's the following Sunday. I absolutely took it back. Are you okay?
What?
But
Renee
no,
is in complete shock.
That's how much my brain was going that I just had to cut.
Oh.
I had to cut because
Yeah.
it was just, how can I explain it? Okay, so that day I was already, like that weekend, it was the weekend that I had therapy. So obviously the first 2 days, first day, second day, you feel different, right? You have all these emotions. You can't really, you can control them to a point, but you're just draining. You're just
Yeah.
draining. So I thought I was okay by Sunday. And when we see each other Sunday on the weekends,
Mhm.
every other, whatever. We hadn't seen each other for a week. So it was already like we missed each other, right? But I was already like, so like, I feel bad. I feel bad because he's in this journey with me. And I feel like, I don't feel like I'm using him, but I feel like not taking advantage, but like I'm just so needy, right? And he's just so there and I'm not used to it, right? So that's been my biggest challenge is kind of like getting used to it being like, okay,
Yeah.
you know? And with him, it was like, I totally like crushed his world at that second, but it was just like, I just had to like say like, this is enough. Like, cause everything in my head was going. I'm thinking of all the stuff that we missed out on. Like, like just all the stuff that it's not bad. It's really not bad. But,
Mhm.
you know, there's certain things that have changed, you know, in the relationship. I don't have a desire to have sex right now. It's just gone, and I feel horrible, right? I feel horrible for him. So it's been a struggle with shit, right? Like,
Yeah.
like, I'm sorry, but
Mhm.
no. And then whatever, we talked about it the next day, and he was like, "Are you sure this is what you want?" And I was like, "No, absolutely not. This is not what I want." Because normally, like, I run, right?
Yeah.
This was the first time I
Same.
didn't run.
Mm.
He ended up like, he stayed the night, and
Oh.
and he noticed that. He was like, "Hey, like, I want to leave." He's like, "But I don't want to leave." And I was like, "Don't leave." And he's like,
Mm.
"Okay." And then I was like, "I want to leave." No, but I was like, no, like, that's my first thing I
Yeah.
do is run.
Yeah.
I will run.
Yeah.
I used to take my daughter with me. Like, in an argument, I would be like, nope, because I'm never going to leave my daughter. So there was arguments with, my ex-husbands and stuff that I just take her, scoop her up, and we leave, right? And until, like, I can, like, breathe or figure out what the hell, like, it's usually very destructive.
Self-sabotage.
It's huge. Yeah. Big time.
I do the same.
So, like, it's been like, I can't even explain it.
A hot mess express.
A hot mess express. Yes. But I'm dealing with it. And the fact that he brought it up and was like, "Hey, like, you didn't run away. And, no matter what, like, I'm going to support you. Like, our relationship is not just that, And I was like, because that was huge for me. Because I'm like, I'm sorry. I could barely give you some of my time.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, even that is like, limited. So, but he just reassured me. He reassured me, and I was like, oh my God, it just felt so good. It felt so good not to have to clean up the mess, right? And with cleaning up the mess, it's yourself too, because you're hurting yourself, the stuff that's coming out of your mouth, the stuff you're thinking, the stuff that has nothing to do with them. It's all internal, but it's just crazy how.
Yeah. They're just the ones that get the end of it. Yeah. And it sucks because, so I'm going to relate that to my own relationship where it's like, Fernando's such a good person and such a good partner to me and very understanding and very like, he's there for me. But as I'm healing and as I'm working, he gets the shitty end of the stick because all of this like emotions, it's like vomit, right? And I've vomited all over myself and now it's on him. And it sucks because I'm getting better, but he's the one like that has to not suffer, but he's the one that's in it with me, right? In the trenches with me.
Yeah.
And in the past, like I was very like a people pleaser and I would just do whatever and like the same as you, I would run like, no, I'm going to leave you before you leave me kind of thing. Because even in our relationship, I would be the same thing. I'd be like, well, then just leave or just divorce me or why are you here with me? And he was like, what don't you get that I'm not leaving? Like, I love you. And it's taken me this long and it's my own mental health that has taken me to realize like, hey, he's in it for you. He's not in it for himself. Like everybody in the past, right? Because everybody in the past was in it for themselves.
That's exactly it.
And it's like, you can't fathom that this person wants you to be good for yourself, that it's like, you feel like you don't deserve it. Right? And it's like, no, fuck that. I do deserve it. Like this shit happened in the past, like this trauma that I went through, it like conditioned me to be like, I don't deserve this. Right? And so because I don't deserve it, I'm going to push it away before it gets taken from me. Right? That's exactly how I've always been where like, I'm going to break up with you before you break up with me because I don't want to feel like that. And they have no intent of doing that. Right? No. Because with all this new therapy, it's like I lash out at you after because it's like you were saying, draining. Like it's literally just pouring out of me. And it sucks because you're the person who's cared about me my whole life the most. And I'm treating you like this and I don't want to treat you like this. But I also I'm like walking a new line, right? Like I've never been down this road. I don't know.
Yes, exactly.
I don't know why I'm acting like this, right? But I'm glad that I have somebody there to be like, hey, you know what? Like you said, he was like, normally you would run away or you want to deal with it, because same thing with me. I'm like, all right, fine. Like sometimes we'll be like, fuck you too. And then we walk away and then later we're like, cool, right? And I'm like, are you going to eat or what? You know, like,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Or like before I would be like, I'm leaving, right? But you learn to rationalize more.
Yes.
You just have to give yourself grace. And you also have to be like, hey, you know what? I'm feeling this right now. It has nothing to do with you, but and it's interesting to me that you're saying that you're needy because you've never been vulnerable as much as you are right now. Like even you sharing this stuff, I think you're like the rawest you've ever been in your life.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And I think you have the right person by your side to do this. Because I'm not saying that you can't do it by yourself.
Yeah.
But you don't deserve to do it by yourself.
Yeah.
You need support. And I'm glad that you have that in Max. And I'm glad that he did it. Like he's worked on himself and he's very emotional intelligent, where he knows like, I'm not going to make it about me. Like I know what it is. So it just makes me happy that, you know, and you even realizing it and saying it, you know, is a big difference, because a lot of times we're like, well, fuck you then, you know, like whatever. All right, whatever. It wasn't meant to be, but it's a big difference.
And then I'm like, am I going to be okay without him? Yeah, I'll obviously be okay without him, but do I want to?
Yeah.
No, I don't. You know, like, you know what this guy told me? I was going to say this motherfucker, but I could say this motherfucker. Because he's also going to therapy too. Yeah. He just started going back, and because he wants to help me.
Yeah.
Right? And he told me this time that, how can I help you? How can I help you after your therapy? Like after your session? Like, can I just bring you food? Can I bring you flowers? Or can I like do something to help you, you know? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know, because it's just so like, I definitely want to be like left alone for that day. But not for the second day, because the second day is when it starts like healing, and I want to heal right with love with him, you know, like, cause he does want to be there with me. He does want to like, it's amazing. And it probably sounds so silly, and it sounds so like, okay, girl, like, you know,
you've never been this vulnerable. Like I have never seen you vulnerable like this, where, cause like I said before, you're I don't need anybody's help. And he's like, I know you don't need anybody's help, but I want to help you.
Yes.
And that's
oh my God.
Such a, like, you deserve that, you know? And it's cool to have somebody that's like there to support you, you know, and knows that you don't need him, but he wants to be there for you.
Right.
Question. Wait, are you guys broken up or?
No. We got back together like the next day.
I was like, wait, what's going on? I'm so confused.
I'm so confused right now.
Is that why you're quiet the whole time?
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, wait, I saw him last night. He was here.
So what's up? We're probably going to a movie together.
Oh no, I gotta cancel my plan.
I was like, movie buddy. All sad.
No, sorry. No. No. That only lasted like
a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of you, because you're healing your way, right? But you're also accepting the support that you're getting. Yeah. Oh. Everybody's so proud of you. Wow. Well, I'm glad that you're not broken up anymore.
Yeah,
and I'm glad that you realize that moving forward, you know, you have to take certain steps, right? Like, you know, okay, this is how I feel. Okay, so for the next time, this is what I got to do, you know, because I don't want to go back to that.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Loving it. What about you guys?
So I have my second session with my new therapy. And it's like so weird because and I feel so like not connected to her yet, but it's like she's a Latina. And so it makes me feel so much more safe, right? Somebody that knows the culture and knows everything. And so this week I didn't have therapy. I have it next week. But I was like, dang, this stuff is like, it's so weird. Because even like Fernando was like, he was talking about having interest in it, right? And I was like, okay, but you gotta be ready to be like in the woo woo because it feels hella weird, but you feel hella good after. And so I'm like, okay. And then my challenge was I had neurofeedback, right? I've been doing that twice a week. I prepaid 10 sessions, and I was like, nobody has said anything to me or anything. Like, we haven't like got back together to figure out over what's going on and whatever, right? Nobody has said anything to me. So I was like, hey, I'm pretty sure that I already gotten my 10 sessions and I haven't been, like not reevaluated, but like, let's get back together and talk about things. And so I was like, okay. So I text the lady and she was like, oh yeah, I put myself on your session so that we could talk about it. And I was like, okay. So she was like, oh, okay, this and this and this. And she was like, all right, well, so it wasn't cheap, right? It was $1,500 for 10 sessions. And like, I could tell the difference the first few ones, but like, I just felt like I was stagnant. Like nothing was happening. Like I wasn't improving. And so, cause Fernando and I had talked about, all right, when we get to the end of the 10 sessions, let's figure out if it's something you want to do, or do you want to do something else? Like, let's figure it out. And I was like, okay, because we are budgeting this year. And so I'm like, I don't want to waste our money on something that I don't feel like I want to continue with. So then we were like talking and she was like, oh, like I explained this to you with this. And I said, you didn't explain that to me. It was like a house or something like that. Like basically like a structure of what it is that the whole purpose of this is. And I was like, no, you didn't give that to me. And she was like, I did it. And I was like, no. Gosh. So I don't understand what it is, right? So she explained the left side, the right side. You know how I explained previously? Like when I was like, okay, but like I didn't really get it. And like, yes, I should have asked, but like, that's not my job. This isn't your business. Yeah. So she was like, okay, well, moving forward, it'll be like 150 a session and da 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 da. And she's like, and then for this new plan, it's like 20 more. So I was like, 20 and $150. Like, that's a lot of money. And then I was like, okay. And I was like, so then I have to continue. And she's like, yeah. And I was like, okay. And then she's like, so since you're at 11, so I was like, so I already passed my 10. And so I was like, so since you're at 11, it'll be $150. And then for today's session, 12, it'll be another $150. So $300 for 2 sessions. And then I was like, she goes, well, because I said, well, I want to talk to my husband because I'm not going to make a decision without him. And she was like, okay. And then she goes, okay, well, do you want me to, she was already like about the money. Like, do you want me to bill you and this and that? And I was like, no, hold on. And then she goes, okay, well, we really recommend that you do 12 because then it stays in your brain. Like it's like the plan stays in there. And I was like, if you recommend 12, why do you only prepay 10?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, no, then I don't want to do today. Like,
yeah,
I'll get back to you on Saturday to see once I talk to my husband. I'm not about to charge another $150 without talking to him. No. Yeah. And she was like, oh, well, no, we really recommend it. And I was like, no. I was like, I already owe you $150. I'm not going to do another one. And she was like, oh, well. And then that whole like house thing came back. And then I was like, the little like structure. And then she goes, I'll just give it to you for free. And then I was like, okay, if you're going to give it to me for free, then fine. And so she was like, okay, and da-da-da, right? And I was like, she goes, Norm. And I said, I just expected somebody to get back with me at 9 saying, hey, your 10 is next. What do you want to do from here? Not automatically put me in for 11 and be like, hey, like I didn't even really know what session I was on. Nobody says, hey, this is your blank session, blah, 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 blah. Because the people that are there are just text. Like they're just there hooking me up to the machine or whatever.
Yeah.
So then I was like, shit. So then I was like, what the hell? Like, and I was so proud of myself for standing up and being like, hey, no, this isn't right. Or, oh, I'm not. And she was like, I'm sorry, I'm overwhelming you. And then she was like, are you crying? I was like, I'm not crying. And she was like, I was like, normally I would be crying though. I would be like, what? I don't know what to do. Like, and so I was like, no, I need to talk to my husband. And then we can talk about what we're going to do about 11 to pay for it. Right. And so I got home and I talked to Fernando about it. And then he was like, what? And I was like, that's what I said. Like, if it needs 12, why would you prepay 10? Say that in the beginning. Like, so then I was like, I just feel like you guys bamboozled me. Like, and so I was like, I don't want to go back. And I was like, yes, maybe it would have helped me. Cause then I even said, oh, I'm doing IFS. And she was like, oh, well, she goes, cause she used to do EDMR and that's where this all came from. And she goes, well, it really, and by this time I'm like, anything you say to me, it seems like you're just trying to hustle me for my money. So I don't care what you have to say. Because she was like, well, really, doing this first before this is going to help you, right? Before IFS. And then I was like, but guess what? My insurance covers it. So it's free. So I'm going to take the thing that's free over this thing right now that you already put me into. I owe you $150 for. So she was like, okay, well, let us know by Friday if what you decide. And I was like, I already done decided, but I'm going to pretend like I didn't. And on Friday, I canceled. And I was like, no, but it just upset me that I was like, so if I didn't say anything, I would have just owed you how much? Like almost like $3,000 if I would have done the rest of it, right? And I was like, that's a lot of money. $1,500 is a lot of money. $150 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't even pay that much for my therapy, right? Like even on a cash basis still. Like I was like, this is why people can't afford to do this shit because you guys are doing all of this. So I ended neurofeedback and I feel like a little bit better because it's one less thing that I have to do during the week because I was doing it every Wednesday, every Saturday. And it was and I even noticed like my gas, like I had to refill my gas more because it was way up on like in northern Las Vegas, like up by like the Suncoast Casino. So like way up there.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I would have to drive there and then so I'm like, okay. But I'm like, all right, so now somatic therapy is ending, right? This upcoming week is my last one. So all I have is IFS. So I'm like, all right, we're going to focus on one. I've tried everything else, right? And this one's free for now. So we're going to focus on that. And I'm excited because I like it. But I was just like so mad because I was like, what the hell? You suck. Like I thought I was so excited for this. Like I was so like, all right, it's going to help me. Yes, it helped me a little bit, but like not when you're trying to like your business. Like I didn't like that at all. But I was like, and Fernando was like, all right, well, because before I would be like, can you do this? And then I'm like, no, I'm gonna do this. Like, what do you mean? Like with the whole like conversation about having this conversation about like, what? No, like I'd be like, okay, like I don't want to cause any trouble. Like, okay, just sign me up for 10 more. And now I'm like,
take all my money.
Now I'm like, no, I gotta talk to my husband. I don't think so. And then he was like, well, do you want me to write an email like about being, that we were lied to? And I was like, no. And he's like, you can write it. And he goes, or you don't want to write it at all. And I was like, no, I'm just gonna tell her I'm not coming back. And then he's like, okay. And then she even wrote like, take care. And I was like, I'm not even gonna reply to you. Take care. Don't take care.
Do you really care?
Yeah. Obviously not. Think I got money. And what upset me was that she was like, oh, I didn't know that the money, basically like money was an issue. And I was like, excuse me? Like, who got $150 to spend twice a week? No.
So you got all rich people up in here? Shit.
I know. But I was like, what? She was like, I didn't know that money. I was like, no, we allotted for this much for this. Like, I'm not spending more than that. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But I was like, ugh. But yeah, that was my challenge, guys. Drama.
All right, Rene, you're up.
My challenge this past week was the job fair. I went to the job fair. I posted the picture. When I got there was a lot of traffic. Old Rene would have turned around and like, get this. So I got there. I had to park at the West Gate. And it was like a mile walk just to get there in my dress shoes. Thank God it wasn't hot. Thank God it wasn't raining.
Yeah.
So I got there and there were so many people there.
Yeah.
It was crowded full of people that were looking for employment and employers too. So my goal was just to finding something that I want to do, that it's gonna be something like towards my goal of my career, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I want to help vets eventually, right? I want to work at the VA, hopefully, and at some point just work with vets in one way or another. And I did my circle. There's all kinds of companies there. I turned my applications into like security place. Can't think of some other. Or there's like a troop to teacher type thing.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, they hire for substitute teachers. All you need is an AA in that field. Yeah.
In that field. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's for charter schools. It's different from like the from the district.
Okay.
So I was almost done, and I saw a company that I was very interested in working with vets. I did a couple of interviews, and they hired me on the spot.
Congratulations!
I started in 2 weeks, and it's something that's gonna be fulfilling, right? Not just like and it's, let's see if I like it or not. What if I don't like it?
Yeah, exactly.
So my challenges were, I hate crowds, right? And I was just like, just go do this. No one's gonna hurt you, Rene. Like, just you're confident now. You're a different person, and like I did feel confident. I walked in there and I got an interview. I did it. I was nervous as hell because I haven't done an interview in. They don't interview for dog dad jobs. So,
that's true.
So yeah, I'm happy that it was a challenge for me because I don't like crowds.
For sure.
Let your fear
take over. Get the best of me. So I'm happy I went. Old Rene probably wouldn't have gone at all.
Yeah.
If I did go, I saw that traffic, I would turn my ass back around.
Yeah.
It's just who I was, right?
Yeah.
But no, stayed. Did it.
You.
Came out with the J-O-B.
Proud of you. So proud of you. Good job. Look at us making our challenges something good. Okay? That's funny. Good job, guys. So like I said, today we're talking about our fears. So here's a quote from Rene's favorite, Jerry Seinfeld. The number one fear for most people is public speaking.
Yeah.
Number 2 is death. So that means people would rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy.
Oh my God.
Public speaking was definitely like it still scares me, but I think being on this podcast definitely helps.
Oh,
it's technically not public speaking because we don't have a live audience, but like still like people can go watch this back, right? Because live is like you get to watch it like once, but like here you can go back. But as far as death, I mean, it scares me, but
that used to scare me. It doesn't scare me anymore.
No,
not as much.
Not anymore.
Not as much.
Yeah, I know. I'm not gonna volunteer.
But it used to paralyze me for sure.
Yeah.
The scariest class, the biggest fear I had in school was the public speaking class.
Yeah.
I was so fucking shit.
I told you that's why I quit.
Oh no.
That's why I quit school, was because I had to do my presentation in public speaking, and then I was going up and I ended up taking all my shit with me. I just left. Fuck that.
Well, guess what? Today I'm walking out and you guys are gonna have to podcast on your own. Oh my God.
So yes, I believe that.
Yeah. For real.
Definitely.
So what are you afraid of? Fear is an unpleasant, often strong emotion caused by anticipation or awareness of danger. From the Webster's Dictionary. All right. Okay, let's be honest. What's your most irrational fear?
Irrational, definitely heights. Because that's heights, right? Like that's irrational.
Which one?
Heights, fear of heights.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I heard hikes. So I was like, what?
Oh, that too. Fuck it.
Yeah, I'm afraid of heights.
I'm afraid
I
of
don't think
heights.
that's irrational, though.
No.
I think that's pretty...
That's a common one.
That's common, and I think that's...
Birds freak me the fuck out. I don't like them.
Really?
They're weird. Yeah.
Birds?
Yes. Like, get away from me. Like, why does your head do that? Open water was definitely one of my biggest fears.
Yeah.
What are your guys' biggest fears?
My biggest irrational fear is for Tony and I talk about this all the time, is getting hogtied by the police.
Oh shit!
Right?
Yeah,
and then getting a leg cramp in the back of your leg.
Oh no!
I would die of pain. Like I would.
Oh my gosh!
It's our both. We both talk about it. It's hilarious.
Oh my gosh!
Like, why do we even think that's gonna happen to us? First of all,
yeah.
Like, why would you be hogtied? Like, what are you guys doing?
That's funny.
It's an irrational fear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true.
Well, yeah, that's mine.
Huh. I
Yeah.
don't know about other irrational fears.
I used to have
Fear.
one that used to. It gave me like a. I did it for the longest, like the habit of sleeping on the side of the bed instead of the middle of the bed.
Oh,
because Nightmare on Elm Street
Part
one.
When you sink?
When Johnny Depp in the scene gets sucked into the bed and gets spit out. I had the fear of sleeping in the middle of the bed for the longest, and it just became something I did. Right, it became like a habit.
Yeah,
but I finally got over it because the dog pushed me to the side.
Yeah,
or no, I ended up getting over it because I got over it.
Yeah,
but now I'm sleeping on the sides again because of the dog. That's what I meant.
That's funny. Were you guys scared of the dark when you guys were little?
Yeah.
No.
I was.
You know allowed to be.
That makes me.
I was. You weren't allowed to be.
Oh my God. That makes me remember my sister saying that sometimes she'll turn off the lights on her kids and then be like, Mom. And she's like, you got to learn how to see in the dark. What happens? She like prepares them for such,
oh my
so
gosh.
much shit. It's hilarious.
Those
She goes,
kids
your eyes will adjust.
Yeah.
She's like, give it a minute. Your eyes will adjust. So funny. What about your biggest fears in general?
My biggest fear is not continuing to grow and heal. It's nothing like shit's gonna happen in the world, right? But that is like my biggest fear. It's just being stuck in the same place every year. Like I want to keep moving up.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
Yeah.
Leveling up.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear.
I used to have a big fear of like open water. And I think as I've gotten, like I started healing more, it's like gone away. Like I'm still like nervous because technically I say I don't know how to swim, but I'm sure if I was to be thrown in the water, I would try to like stay afloat, right? I'd be like a pancake, right? Yeah. And so, but I think it was more of like my fear of drowning that stopped me from even trying. Because some of the most like sacred, like most healing, like most like I can't describe this feeling. Places that I've ever been are in cenotes in Mexico, which are like underwater caves. And it's like literally like a big hole with water with no bottom to it, right? But it's just so like healing that it's like literally you just float in there and it's so cool. Like mind you, I'm in a vest, like a
life vest.
A life vest, right? But still, I'm still like, but yeah, I'm like, I think that's what it was. It was more of my fear of drowning than my actual fear of could I swim or not? You know, like before I even got there, I was like, nope. Like even the last one that we went to was like this long like stairs. And it was so beautiful. You like walked all this big long flight of stairs down, and then there's like a little dock that they put for you to jump down or crawl down the ladder to go into, and it's literally, and then you look up and it's like a big hole in the it's so pretty, and I'm like, damn, like imagine like I wouldn't be able to see these things if I let my fear of getting in the water stop me. Yeah, I know.
Was it Babe Ruth's thing? Don't let the fear of the game.
Don't let the fear of striking out.
Yeah, don't let the fear of striking out ruin the game or something. Something like that.
Yeah, put it right
here. That's crazy though.
Yeah,
because like when you show us pictures and stuff, we just see them, but to really think about it, like that was like. Wow.
Yeah, like I went snorkeling I had a life vest on, but still,
But
to me, like, there's a fucking
yeah.
fish swimming by me, like, ah.
yeah.
not to scare you, but the ocean is a terrifying
Yeah.
It is.
I'm like, sharks live there.
Sharks live there.
Yeah, we haven't
that's
even
their
explored
home.
half of the shit.
I
That's in
know,
there,
like,
right?
like 1% of the ocean. or
That's
something
nuts.
Like that.
That is so nuts.
Yeah.
I'll look it up, but that's why I heard maybe no, that's 1% of the sky, but yeah, the ocean
It has
is
to be
pretty.
something
the
like
ocean's
that.
pretty,
Yeah.
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 You figure we can only hit so much,
Yeah.
right?
Did you guys hear that there's real mermaids?
What?
Like real mermaids. Like they have like the skeletal remains of them.
Really?
What?
Like only in certain places. But I mean, if you think about it, like where the hell did they come from? Right? Like if you
Yeah.
think about it, like who? I don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know if it's true, but, but
Yeah,
they said
there's a lot of
some.
things like they say like there's like aliens under the water and stuff like that. Like there's
Oh.
that too. And I was like, I believe it. If you guys think we're the only people on this planet or the only living things on this planet, I don't
Good luck.
think so. Yeah, exactly.
Good luck when you run into them.
You got a rude awakening coming for you.
Oh. So for me, my biggest fear
Uh-huh.
is my daughter. Something happening to my daughter. Like that, as soon as like she came out
Mhm.
and they gave her to me, I was like this. And I was like, if I lose her, like my world would end. Like it was just such a like feeling that I'm like I'm in charge of her. Like she's mine, like such a huge, powerful moment, but it's just the scariest moment at the same time, because I worry about everything. Even, I mean, she's safe with her dad. Her dad's great, but even like when she's with her dad, I'm like petrified, or I'm like just thinking like, oh, like who, is he going with her to the bathroom? Like, walking her and stuff like that. Obviously not, because she's like 13, but still, I'm like, is there anybody watching her or, and then just men are just so gross. And like, anytime we go anywhere, it's like, I'm just like, please, nobody take her. Please, nobody like, or do anything to her or fuck. I hate that. I hate that. But I did bring it up to a therapist about it because it was affecting me really bad for a while. And she said, have you talked to your daughter about it? Have you talked to her to see what she would do? And then I was like, no, not really. So like I asked her, I'm like, hey, like, what would you do if somebody like try to take you? And she's like, she has like moved, but she already knows. But like she knows from her like dad's friends that are cops and stuff that like showed her stuff, So she like knows, to get the DNA under her fingertips or in their finger. Yeah. Or, like pull, pinch, like the sensitive parts that, just, yeah. So I think after hearing her tell me like, okay, she does, it's not like she's just going to be like, okay, take me, like she, I mean, it's still scary.
Yeah.
But that did help. Big time.
Oh, that's
It did
good.
ease it a little bit because it was like, okay, she's
aware.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah. I think I live life the same way where I'm like, I'm putting gas? Hold on, let me move my purse. Hold on, let me do it. Where I'm like always on the lookout for something bad to happen. And it's like you have to find a nice like
like a medium kind of like where you have to
where it's like, okay, how do I live my life where I'm aware of my surroundings, but I'm not like scared of my surroundings, where I'm like, oh no, somebody's gonna get me.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have to you have to think of like, okay, I'm not gonna go to gas station at night. I'm gonna try to go in the morning or after work, or you start planning like that, and it's just like, okay, that's just how we have to live in this world right now,
Life as a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy because I never have to think about it.
Yeah.
Like that.
It's like I pull up to the gas station pump and like, you know how sometimes there's that big like pole thing like that. I park super close to that so that there's only enough room for me to get out and my door hits it and
yeah. I like taking Lady to the gas station and I just put the window down so she's just like watching or whatever. And she's so big that she's scary, But I mean, where I live, it's like it's going towards like Arizona, so there's a lot of travelers. So there's always like just different people going to the lake and stuff. So like anytime we go to the gas station, like it just feels so uncomfortable because it's just like men just drinking like with their beer, like their beer bottles or they're, like outside the boat because they're gassing up their boat because it's just right there from the lake. So I don't like that.
Just pick your nose next time.
Yeah. Shit, they might like it.
Burp real loud. Have you seen that? I've seen this thing on Instagram and it's like a Uber driver driving her and he's like, so do you got a man? She's like, I am a man. She goes, hasn't said a thing since then.
That is the best. Like,
Tiffany.
That one's good.
All right. Tell us about the time fear got the better of you in public. Every day.
Time I step out.
Let me see. What is it? So I think that like I'm always like scared of everybody and like maybe people are just being nice to be nice and I'm like, what do you want? Like I'm like, really can't be too nice.
Yeah.
Like yesterday this man opened the door for me and I was like, oh, thank you, have a good day. And he's like, oh, thanks, have a good day too. And then I was like, what's happening? Because I would never say that before. I'd be like, oh, thank you. Okay, bye. Don't talk to me too much. Don't see what car I'm getting in. Like, no. I think that's also, I used to listen to a lot of true crime. I think everybody's after me. What about
that
you
doesn't
guys?
help.
Yeah.
I think just in general, just that social anxiety, fear of just being around people.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Recently,
keeps me from going out sometimes.
Yeah. Recently, I think my fear of messing up, like making a mistake and it being like acknowledged is something that I had struggled with before. Where I'd be like, oh no, I messed up. Oh no, I'm in trouble. Oh no. Like, I'm sorry. And then now like I have a mentality where I'm like, well, I fucked up. Like, I'm sorry, I fucked up.
My bad.
Yeah, I fucked up. Yeah, exactly. My bad. I fucked up. All right, here's how we need to fix it. Or like even at work before, I would be like, oh no, I didn't. Like I would run around it, right? And be like not trying to take responsibility or accountability for what I did.
Yeah.
And now, like for instance, last week it was like, hey, something on the billing was off and I was like, oh shoot. So I was like, here's what it is. Let me know what it is, how I can fix it. And the lady's like, oh, okay, here, this is what it is. And I'm like, thank you for catching that or thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'll make sure to keep an eye out for that or I'll be sure to take an extra step to make sure that doesn't happen again.
Candy.
I know.
That's huge.
I know. Because before I'd be like, no, I didn't do that. Or, I don't know what happened. Something must have happened, right? Where I would like white lie it to be like, I don't want to put it all on me. But now I'm like, yeah, I fucked up. Like, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, I fucked up. I'll fix it. And then now, like even in my relationship, that's something where I'm like, yeah, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I forgot. Like shit.
I think we forget sometimes that we're all humans and we mess up. Humans.
Yeah.
Human. And we fuck up and that's okay. What's not okay is like the lying part, like you said.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm trying to get used to that too because accountability is hard.
Yeah.
It really is.
Like you feel shame, but it's like, oh well, like everybody does that. Everybody messes up.
What is it? The lies. The cover up is always worse than like, or the lie is always worse than the actual event that
It's so easy to tell the truth. Like
it's
so much better. It's so much easier. Like, I don't know. Like it's just fuck.
Yeah.
That's one thing that I am grateful that my dad did teach me. Was to take ownership and to play it off. Like if it's something at work, just to be like, oh, that was my bad, or that was a boo-boo. He used to say that was a boo-boo. And he's just like, because then, it's, you can't take it serious and just, because he worked with a lot of different people, like out in public and stuff. So he was like, I'm not trying to mess with nobody. I don't want nobody to mess with me. So my bad, So it was like a lot of that stuff helped him. And then I've seen that it helps me too, that I'm like, I'll bend a knee or whatever. Like, I'm like, okay, yeah, my bad or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay. And it just makes everything like so much easier. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
good. Because I do think some people will get called out and then they like try and turn it back at you. Like, well, if I wouldn't have done that, you wouldn't have done that. Yes, exactly. And it's like, no, I don't want to be that way. Like, I fucked up. I'm sorry I fucked up. I did this. Moving on. Like, how do I do it? And then but then insanity. What do they say? Insanity is like doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. Yeah. Like, I tried to keep that in mind where I'm like, all right, like, if you say you're gonna do something, do it. Like, and it's something that I struggle with.
I swear we share a brain because this is the shit that I think about too. Oh my God, that's amazing.
Because I'm like, okay, like before I would be like, oh, and then I would keep doing it, and then it's like, no, you can't keep doing it. You're not growing if you keep doing it. Like,
I'm like, I'm creating a pattern.
I'm
creating a pattern. Stop
yes, exactly. Ay. What is a fear that you guys have grown out of? Public speaking.
Public speaking through the podcast for sure.
Being vulnerable.
Yeah, being vulnerable.
Huge. Huge. Going back to school was big for me.
Rene.
Fear of being alone.
Oh,
I used to be scared of being alone, and I think that's why I stuck in so many toxic relationships.
Yeah. Because some of those girls were like, the fuck?
Now I'm good with them. Like, I'm very aware of what I want now.
Yeah.
And before it was just like we said before, I'll
like
take what
easy.
I got.
Yeah.
No, I'm like now. No, I'm not gonna take shit from somebody because I find them attractive or because I don't want to be alone. No.
Yeah. Good for you.
I've outgrown the fear of being alone.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one. Oh, good job, buddy.
I've had the same. I've had that fear too, where I'm like, where like I spent a lot of my life being like, I want to be with somebody, and then I would accept scraps, like Mel Robbins says, right? But I'm like, now I'm like, I'll be fine. I'll be alone. I'll be whatever. Like because I've grown, and that's the thing with you, right? Because you've grown and you put in the work to love yourself.
Yes.
Where you're not seeking that love from somebody else because you give it to yourself now.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Cool. Yes.
Love that.
I know. I'm proud of us.
Yes.
Ding ding ding. So you both said heights? You guys are both scared of heights?
I wasn't. And then when I was in training, I fell like I was on
I remember that story.
I was on like, what are those things called?
Cargo nets? Zip line?
Like the ones where you like have to like
climb
up or whatever, and then like, but you like rappel kind of like you can't fall the way.
Yeah.
I don't know what it's called, but anyway, there was like a net. There was a net, but the way like my thing like I don't know what exactly happened. I just remember like being way high on top in the army, like training, and then just going bam, my face like right like on the net. Oh. So all this was raw. All this was so gross and so like just like burn, right? Yeah. Like my whole face was burned, and I was like, oh my God. And after that, I can never like heights just, and it's crazy because I was never like that. I was never like that. I was like, pfft. And now I'm like, hell no, hell no.
Like I can go on roller coasters, I can go on airplanes. It's stuff like that.
I mean,
instead, like the tower that we had to do and being on cliffs. Oh, that's terrifying.
Yeah.
But somewhat, yes, in some way I am. You're not?
No. I mean, I jumped out of a plane.
Oh, yeah.
Right. And I would do it again. It was so much fun.
See, I would not do that.
I would do it again.
No, gracias.
Right now, you triggered something in my head that I was like, I'm scared of doing new things. Like I don't do things. Like there's certain things that I said that I would do and I don't because I'm scared. And I'm like, what are you scared of? Like if you mess up, like it's okay. And I like drag my feet on certain things. Like there's certain things that I have that I'm like, oh, I want to do. Like, for instance, sewing. Like last year.
I was gonna say that.
Last year, I said I wanted to learn to sew, and I did it. And then this year, I was like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. And I went and learned. And then this morning, my neighbor came over to help me because I'm working on something for my niece. And so I'm like, all right, I got to do it. Like, I got to, like, who cares if I mess up? Like, that's the only way that I'm going to, like, that's what I've learned, right? Is that the more I practice, the more comfortable I get in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. I'm like, I'm going to create my whole wardrobe, okay? But yeah, I definitely have to get over my fear of like just even starting out, right? Starting out of the process or doing things.
Yeah.
It's just like, just get your foot in the door and, you know, but yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right. What are some ways you have gotten over some fears?
Just getting out there and fucking doing it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Find out it's not as scary as you thought it was.
Yeah.
I say a little prayer and I go. I'm like, God, you're with me.
Yeah, that definitely helps, I think. Like, and then you're like, what was I so scared of? Like, this isn't that bad.
Yeah.
Do you guys think society plays a role in shaping our fears?
Oh, for
definitely.
Sure,
There's a lot of fear mongering.
Especially right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
With you know who.
Yeah. There's a lot of
office.
fear going on.
Yeah.
And it's like, I realize that something like there are fears that I don't, I have the privilege of not having to worry about too. That also brings it into perspective too. Like there's, I don't have to worry about this or I don't have to worry about that. But it's like.
Can you state something like specific?
No.
With
For instance, like immigration status, right? Like how many people are living in fear right now because they can't go.
Many.
Like even
so many people
going to work or driving to work, like all these things. And it's like, granted, that's happened before, right? The Reappreciation Act, right? Where that happened, where they were just deporting anybody. It didn't matter if you were a citizen or not.
That's crazy.
If you were brown, you got deported to a place that you've never been to, right? That's something that I'm like, I'm not scared.
A lady?
It's lady.
Lady, no.
She's scratching.
Just go ahead.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, that's just one of the things that I'm like, oh, okay, I don't have to worry about that.
That makes sense.
So when it comes to getting over fears, what kind of advice do you have for the younger generation?
Just be prepared. Just know your surroundings, be vigilant. Turn to God. Yeah.
I think grounding is something that I've learned that helps me, where it's like you take a second to bring yourself back to reality.
Yeah, that's big.
That's a good one.
I've actually seen, I was going to tell you guys, I saw this on Instagram. There's like these little pads that you put on like a laptop and it says like breathe, hold, like a triangle. Like it does like breathe, hold, breathe, but it's textured. So it helps you, right? Or I've seen things that be like, do your five senses, like what's something that you smell, what's something that you hear, like to bring you back to reality. Because I do, like as a kid, I was so scared of everything, right? Like everything would scare me. And so now it's like, okay, we're still scared sometimes, right? Like like to me, like some people are scared of needles, right? Like and I'm like, no, it makes me feel good when I get tattoos. Like I love that feeling. And I'm like, that's something up here, girl. Like something mentally. But I would definitely say like, just go for it. Like, don't let fear get in the way of doing things. Like, don't let fear stop you from growing or stop you from trying new things or, like, yes, be cautious, but don't let it run your life.
Yeah.
Because I think for some time I let fear run my life. Big time, where I was like, oh, nope, not doing that. Or, no, like, and it's like, no, like you make a mistake, you get up and you try again.
Yeah.
But yeah. Don't be scared to start something new. If you're scared to start therapy, I promise you it's worth it.
Yeah.
It may take a couple of tries, but it's never too late. Just do it.
At it. Yep. Keep at it.
Yep. What about you, Rene?
Mine is I've learned they're living life that
Mhm.
no one knows what the hell they're doing. You just fucking do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Look at our governments.
Mhm.
All the governments
Okay.
around the world. Like
It's all like
Mhm.
backwards.
Yes,
Mhm.
no
It's
one.
all backwards.
Mhm.
It's chaos out there. Just
Yeah.
It really is.
thrive in it.
It's scary. And that's like recently I'm like everything in the news is like scary, right? But I'm
Mhm.
like I like have to turn off the TV or I have to stop. But I
Mhm.
also don't want to be oblivious to what's going on in the world, right?
So much, yeah.
But it's like also with this fear of what's going on, learn the history of what shit was, right?
Yes.
Because that's what they're trying to do is
Yes.
erase history. Like
Mhm.
I talked about earlier, the Reappreciation Act. Like this should happen before. Like
Yeah, it
there's
did.
a reason when they try to get rid of this stuff so people don't go back and be like, hey, I remember this happened, or hey, this happened
Hey,
before.
this already happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yesterday I was like, not you guys trying to get a PBS, get rid of
Yeah.
PBS?
Oh,
I'm like, oh hell no. Do you know how many
Ugh.
kids learn English from PBS, from
Oh my
TV and stuff
Probably
like
why they
that?
want to do that.
Yeah. Because it's like they don't want people to be educated.
Mhm.
And I
And
think
they're like
that's
biased, so they're
Uh-huh.
not, and they don't want bias.
they don't want people to be smart.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I think that's my fear is that it's like and that's something that I think in general I live with where it's like I'm scared because I don't know certain things.
Mhm.
Like, oh, I don't like I'm not as smart. That's what I feel sometimes. Like I'm not as smart as somebody else and like but it's like, well, who cares if you're not as
Mhm.
smart? Like you may know something that they don't know or
Mhm.
like figure it out, learn
Yeah.
or I think that's one of my things that I'm like, all right, I need to start learning more about my history and
Mhm.
just like life history in general, right?
Mhm.
Like so that I don't have that fear of like, oh no,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
yeah.
These are all good stuff.
Mhm.
Good tips.
I think so.
We just know as far as we know,
I
guys. All right. So, you guys ready to get deep?
Let's go.
Deep.
Deep.
All right. All right. So deeper. Have you ever been in a car accident? What happened?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I'm pretty sure I talked about this previously where like one time I was drunk and I drove and I remember opening my eyes and my car was spinning. And luckily I didn't hurt anybody or myself or anything, but I woke up on the side of the road, like against the divider.
Damn.
And the cop was like tapping at my window and I was like, "Oops." And I didn't get a DUI. My mom was like, you should have got a DUI because he smelled like alcohol. Like you should have. But my mom, we were like, we think it was shift change and that's why they didn't want to do it. She was like, but you definitely smell like alcohol. So I would say that was my worst accident. My car was like totaled. And I still didn't learn my lesson because I still would drink and drive after that. And I'm like, I'm glad that I've learned from that. And I hope other people take that into consideration. Like, I messed up bad. And I'm so lucky that I didn't kill anybody or I didn't kill myself or I didn't alter anybody's life. But mentally, like, there was nothing anybody could tell me. I had to learn on my own. So, yeah, that was my worst accident. What about you guys?
Worst? Maybe, you know what? Maybe when I was with Melissa, we were in her blue Mustang. Remember her little Mustang?
Oh, yeah.
It was like a 1970 something.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Well, I got totaled.
I don't remember the accident.
Yeah, we were just leaving Javier's house in Compton. And we were driving, was it Rosecrans? I don't remember what the intersection was, but we were turning left. Oh, it was right where Church's Chicken. Church's Chicken is, and we go left, right?
Yeah.
So we were getting out, we're going straight, and then a car ran the red light and was going towards us. And it was like this like suburban big truck looking thing, like something with power.
Over you guys.
And he just probably like 18, 19. Oh no, she was pregnant with Mariah. Yeah, because she was like 5 or 6 months pregnant or something.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was so scary. And I called my brother, and my brother came out, and he was like running out of the car. Like he couldn't even like put the car in park.
Oh.
The car was like going. And then like he just like ran out and, wanted to make sure we were okay. We were okay. Like nothing, we didn't get hurt or anything like that. It was just scary. You know?
The truck T-boned you?
No, he just straight on, like
head on hit
head
you?
on. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was just like, like the whole front was like, like accordion.
Really?
But like nothing happened to us. Nothing happened to us. Like it was like,
took all the hit.
Yeah. And those cars are heavy.
Yeah. Don't make them like they used to.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that.
Mm-mm.
Wow. Huh. What about you, Rene?
Mine was about 2015, 2016 was the last car accident I've been in. I was at a green light, or at a light, the light turned green, and some car coming the opposite way. Like decided it was a green light for them too.
Oh no!
Hit the car next to me. Then that car hit me.
Oh.
Yeah, and my car I got lucky. It wasn't like a monster hit or anything.
Yeah.
It messed up my left side. And not the craziest part, but the part I remember most is the cop interviewing me, and he's like, "Oh, what race are you?" I'm like, "Latino." He's like, "Latino? Are you sure?" Like,
no,
yeah.
I'm sorry.
He's like, "Well, you can pass as white." And I was like, okay, like what the fuck was that about?
That's so random.
It was Huntington Beach, by the way.
Okay.
So
That's fine.
this guy looked like he definitely sprayed people down with hoses and dogs and had the dogs out.
Yeah,
for sure. He was like probably 70 at the time.
Oh,
what are you still doing on the force? I'm tired, man. Probably beating up minorities up already. Just get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
The first accident I ever got into, I was driving home, and mind you, I was when I first started driving, I was scared to be on the freeway. I remember my first time I ended up on the freeway by accident. I called my sister, and I was like, Melissa, what do I do? And then she was like, just get off on the next exit. Just stay in that lane and you'll get off. And I'm like, okay.
Remember Clueless? Like
yes. And she was like, oh no. Yeah, same thing. It was like going to the beach, down Beach Boulevard, where it was like the freeway, that I don't even know what freeway. Like I forget like streets in California now. I'm like, damn, it's been that long. Yeah. But yeah, that so anyways, I was driving home, and then the car in front of me was gonna take the yellow. And then so I was gonna take the yellow too. And then last minute they decided not to take the yellow.
Oh no.
And then I even like when I was like, shit. And so, but I looked, and it looked like the driver and the passenger switched spots.
Oh.
Because the passenger didn't have their license or something. And then I was like, well, nobody's gonna believe me because I'm the one that hit them. But I was like, damn it. But yeah, that was my first accident I ever remember having. I'm like, oh, trauma. Yeah. I'm a perfect driver, guys. Don't believe what my husband says. All right. Don't forget, 211 is for local resources. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I recently had a couple people tell me that they've shared our podcast, and I was like, cool.
Thank you.
I love that.
Thank you.
I recently told my boss about our podcast too.
Did you really? I know.
Yeah.
I'm always like,
well, because
Candy says nothing but the best.
I know.
About you.
I was like, hold on, wait. No, she had reached out to me about some mental health stuff, and then I was like, because I'm open with her about I go to therapy, I do this, I do that, and so I was like, all right, I have a mental health podcast, and she's like, what? And she goes, you know what? One time Fernando said something, and she goes, I just thought he was like talking about something else. I didn't even think he meant to be talking to me. And I was like, no, I do. And she's like, I listened to it. It's really good. She's like, wow, I had no idea. I was like, yeah. I was like, well, don't be telling everybody because I'll be talking about some people on here. So
like
but
bass.
Yes.
Bass.
Yes. But yeah. So share, comment, please.
Yeah.
We like when we get comments. We're trying to be better about our TikTok. That's something like where there's a lot of stuff under wraps over here that we're working on, and we're trying to be about what we say. Okay. And also our next episode is going to be about goals. So check that out. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah.
Bye,
See
guys.
ya. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for joining us. If you are in need of any medical assistance, please contact your local provider. If you are having thoughts of suicide, please call the National Suicide Hotline at 988. In case of emergency, call 911. See you next week as we talk about
the things we're not supposed to talk about.